Hi everybody. In the previous videos, we were discussing about payback period and ARR method. In this video, we are going to discuss about the net present value method included in modern method. So net present value method is the difference between present value of cash inflow and present value of cash outflow. NPV method is a discounted cash flow technique. This method always compares the inflow and outflow of cash that is occurring in different period of time. The major characteristics of this method is that it takes into account the time value of money and all cash inflows and outflows that are converted into present value. So these are some of the theoretical aspects relating to net present value method or NPV method. This method comes under discounted cash flow technique. It compares the cash inflow and cash outflow occurring at different time period. It takes into account the time value of money and all the cash inflow and outflow are converted into present value. Only then calculations are done. Let us see what are the steps are included in calculation of net present value method. Cash inflows and cash outflows are determined first. A discount rate or cutoff rate is determined then. This rate is also called as cost of capital, required rate of return, the target rate of return, hurdle rate, etc. With the help of this rate of return, present value of cash inflows are calculated. For this purpose, present value factor should be calculated at the given rate with the help of this formula. The formula is present value factor PVF is equal to 1 by 1 plus R into N, or it could be taken from the present value factor table that is given in the logarithm book. Cash inflow of each year is then multiplied with the present value factor. Discounted cash inflow of all years is added. In this way, the present value of all cash inflow is obtained. Finally, NPV is calculated by deducting present value of cash outflow from present value of cash inflows. NPV or net present value is equal to present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So these are some of the steps involved in calculation of present value method. First is cash inflow and cash outflows are determined, and a discount rate or cutoff rate is determined. With the help of this rate of return, present value of cash inflow are calculated. For this purpose, we are using the present value factor table, or you can use the formula present value factor is equal to 1 by 1 plus R into N. Cash inflow of each year is then multiplied with the present value factor. Discounted cash inflow of all the years are added, and the present values obtained in this way. And finally, the MPV is calculated using the formula present value of cash inflow minus present value of cash outflows. Some of the notes to be taken into considered while calculating NPV is: if working capital realized and salvage value or scrap value is given in the question, It must be discounted with the present value factor of last year and must be added as a cash inflow in the last years. The initial outflow is not required to be discounted because it is already a present outflow. But if there is any further cash inflow in the following years, like overhauling charges, maintenance charges, etc., that should be discounted as present value factor of that year and should be added to the cash outflow. These are some of the points to be noted while calculating the net present value. Let us see what are the decision criteria for calculating net present value. If there is only one project under consideration, if the NPV is positive, then that particular project is accepted. If NPV is negative, then that particular project is rejected. If NPV is 0, then it is considered as indifferent. If there are more than one project, the project with higher NPV should be selected. So these are the two decision criteria for calculating NPV. If there is only one project and if the NPV is positive, it is accepted. If there is more than one project and the project with higher NPV is accepted. Let us see what are the merits of net present value method. Unless the non-discounting techniques, NPV is a discounting technique and it recognizes the time value of money. Cash inflows arising at different time intervals are discounted to present values. This method recognizes risk involved in the project with the help of discounting rate. This method is best for mutually exclusive projects where only one project is to be selected among many. This method is considered best for wealth maximization of shareholders as it is based on cash inflow rather than accounting profit. It considers total benefits arising out of projects till the end of the project. So these are some of the merits of net present value method. This method recognizes the time value of money. It recognizes the risk involved in the project. It is best for mutually exclusive projects. It considered the best of wealth maximization of shareholders. It also considers the total benefits arising out of the project. Let us see what are the demerits of net present value method. It requires difficult calculations. We have to go to the logarithm table, we have to look the present value factor, we have to compare it, and all these things should be done. So it is very difficult for calculating. And to calculate the time value of money, the risk involved, etc. are also task. NPV technique requires the predetermination of required rate of return, which itself is a difficult job. If the rate is not correctly taken, then the whole exercise of NPV may give wrong result. It does not provide a measure of projects on rate of return. Rather, it evaluates a proposal against an external variable, that is, minimum rate of return. This method may not provide satisfactory results in case of projects having different amount of investment and different economic life. And these are some of the disadvantages or demerits of NPV. It is difficult to calculate. It does not provide the measure of projects